Welcome back to No Crime After Dark, where we have to talk about crime in the daytime. Because she's scary. I'm running out of intros. So,
I mean, it just is what it is.
it just bottom line, straight to the point.
She's scary, and it's No Crime After Dark. Daylight outside. So
You're right. I'm having a problem with lighting because I'm getting too much sunlight right now. So this is our continuation, part 2 of the Natalia Grace story. This whole course of
madness.
bullshit. So where we left off at, we were just getting into the detectives getting to Ukraine to figure out more about Natalia, and they ended up but finding and getting in contact with her aunt Anna, who helped them get
her aunt Tatiana.
No, her aunt. Oh yeah, her aunt Tatiana. I'm sorry,
yeah.
Her aunt Tatiana, and Tatiana got them in contact with her sister Anna, who is Anna. I'm sorry, it is Ukraine. Anna, who is Natalia's biological mom. So shortly after this, because even in the interview, because I don't think we specified this in the last one, but even in the interview with Anna, when she's talking to her sister and they're trying to get information from her, she's just like, "This is 17 years ago, dog. Why are we still talking?
Why are we still talking about it?
Right? Like this is old." So that's already a major red flag, even though we already listed off a plethora prior to that. But for her biological mom to verbally say that was 17 years ago, and she's supposedly at this point somewhere between 6 and 8 years old, that's real suspect right there.
Yeah.
So the shenanigans pretty much continue. The Barnetts was still saying that Natalia was threatening to kill them, doing stuff to the boys, and I just truly believe they got sick of her shit, and they had to come up with a plan.
I felt like they didn't know what they were getting themselves into.
That's
they were like, no, I don't want to do this, so we got to figure out a way. And I also feel like just the mom, Christine, was just like she's weirdo.
That whole family is weird, bro. Like Jacob was probably the only normal one.
Well, I mean, the two brothers we don't know because they didn't even mention them.
But they did, but like they wasn't on there.
Yeah, but I mean, they didn't say. I mean, besides that they live with the mama. I mean, really, what they, I don't know. The parents, those two, they wasn't a good.
Yeah, no, Christine and Michael were definitely of another planet because I don't know, they wasn't on planet Earth. I can tell you that much. So I feel like they were just looking for a way out.
Yeah.
And again, Christine, as I have finished watching, is a whole nut bag.
Yeah, she's strange.
She just had to figure out a way to get Natalia out the house.
Yeah.
So now they want to go get Natalia re-aged. I didn't even know
this is a thing.
It was a thing.
I mean, you can identify as what you want now. I mean, if I want to be a 42-year-old woman, I should be able to be a 42-year-old woman.
I mean, I should be able to identify as a millionaire, and it happened as I'm identifying it, but that doesn't make me a damn millionaire.
That is the truth.
Okay, because that's the identity I would rather have.
Right.
It was part of my
identity. If you can do change, I'm just saying, you can change all kind of stuff. I mean, what would...
I mean, it's not surprising after listening to it and actually looking into it. Like they said, it's mostly with foreign adoptions from other countries because they don't always know for sure when the baby was born. Some of these kids just be showing up on the doorstep, and the day they found you on the doorstep becomes your birthday.
Right.
So like it makes sense, but I had never heard of it before.
I haven't either.
They take her to a doctor. And I have his name later in my notes, but they take her to Dr. McLaren.
But he was he's like a
Dr. McLaren, because he comes back up later.
Yeah.
They take her to Dr. McLaren and get an observation, for lack of a better term, and ask him how old does he think Natalia is.
Right. And then in the questioning, they're answering the questions. So she's had a period. She's had this, but they're not letting him do his job. so they can.
They're just telling him what they want him to know to come to a better determination of how old they want her to be. So, long story short, they get him to agree to an age. They take that age to court, and the judge knocks the gavel and says she's 22.
Yes.
We went from, what was it, 8?
No, she was.
Yeah, I think it was 8 because they said 14. No, presumably she was 8 at the time that the judge said, and they solidified her at 22. Because I remember her saying it was 14 years, like they jumped it up.
Okay.
No, she was 8 when they went to court, and the judge determined that she was legally an adult.
Her age went from 8 to
22.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
That's what I said when they said it. That was my exact reaction when they said it. Like, just okay, that's
bye.
That's what we came up with. All right.
Yeah. Okay.
Not 15. Hell, not even 17. Yeah. 22. So
the age you get out of my house. And that's what they did. Got her out of the house.
Quick, fast, and in a hurry.
They did. Her apartment. She had.
Okay, so there were some things about this living situation with the first apartments that I found hilarious, but they really weren't funny.
I found the whole thing funny. I was
that whole episode was kind of hilarious.
Yeah, that was insane.
But so they move her into an apartment complex by herself. Mm-hmm. Now, aside from the fact that they might believe that she's not the age she's portraying, she's still disabled. And they are so wrong for the recordings of her trying to bring that trash in that house. Because why would you do that?
I think they were trying to prove like she could do it.
No,
but
she
really proved that she's struggling though.
She's like, it don't take nobody that long.
As big
and that much effort to get a trash can.
And she was like slowly.
No, she really was.
Pushing. I'm going.
Wasn't it one of the ones that didn't have no wheels on it?
Yeah.
It was sad. I'm trying not to laugh because it really was sad because it kind of pissed me off a little bit when I saw and you just sitting in the car.
That's it. You got it. Go ahead.
But when Natalia first got dropped off, because we're gonna say she moved in, and when she got dropped off at her new apartment,
when they moved her in,
they moved her into. Mm-hmm. They basically wanted her to just stay in that apartment. Don't talk to nobody. Just be to yourself. And of course, nobody's really going to do that. So then she starts making friends with people in the neighborhood. And everybody at first thinks she's a little girl.
But never seen her parents.
Yeah, but they've never seen her parents. They think she's a little girl. And actually, the one neighbor did. She says she would always see the mom, but she don't ever recall seeing Michael. Yeah. She would always see Christine. But I think because she was actually a child still, she started doing things that they thought were weird because they thought she was an adult. And looking at the pictures from when they got her to what she looked like now, that girl was nowhere near an adult. Teens, maybe mid-teens at best. At one point, I can't even say if she was 8 or 9, but like they said, she might have been.
I mean, I think that she was older than what she was. I don't think at any point she should be able to live by herself, even if she's 22. Even if
she's living by herself, she should have assisted living. Somebody should be there for so many hours a day to help her.
She should have an aide that comes, put her to bed at least, be with her all day, get her in the bed, whatever. I just don't think that the age has nothing to do with it. It's her disability. Like at this point, it's like it doesn't matter how old she is. She's your daughter.
I just threw her out there. Yeah,
and she's disabled. So where does your concern come in? Like
that?
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense.
The neighbors kind of just like tried to welcome to the neighborhood. We look out for each other over here. So if you need anything, let us know. Natalia took that and ran with it. And again, I think this had to do with the fact of how old she was. But you can't just be in my refrigerator and I come back from the grocery store and you making a whole sandwich, and when I come in, you looking at me crazy.
Yeah, she was just very. I mean, like they were trying their best to be nice and sympathetic and empathetic to her and her needs, but she was just like really taking it overboard, like just pushing it and just.
Especially the one couple when he was like, she would just call like, "Where are you guys at? I'm sitting on the porch. When are you coming home? How long are you going to be gone?" Or when she trying to come over and they like, "No, we got stuff to do." Well, when will you be like, "Girl, mind your business."
Yeah.
So. And one thing they said they all noticed, and I think this is a very important factor, was her body odor.
Her hygiene.
Her body odor. And again, I think that plays into how old she was, how old she actually was at that time. I don't know why, when, or how her lights getting cut off. She going days without food in her house. That's part of the reason why she had her neighbor's houses so much, because they made sure she got some assistance because they said she was getting food stamps. Yeah, but they control, for y'all to not physically be there, they control every aspect of her finances. Yeah, now right to getting her Social Security check. And but you saying you paying her utilities and shit
for her, right? They pay her for a year. I mean, I don't understand why they wouldn't pay her bills online. And she had a food stamp.
That's why it's set for auto pay. She all she needs is the bare necessities. She's not doing anything for real. Yeah. So there should be an account set up so it just come out automatically. Yeah. But Natalia kept being weird. When it came time for her lease to be up, her complex decided not to renew because there were so many complaints to the office about her, again, just being in people's houses at random. Like that used to be a neighborhood where they would keep their doors unlocked. Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, inappropriate with the neighbor's son.
With the neighbor's son,
who actually 12 at the age when he's waiting for the bus, and she'd just be out there waiting, and like she was too much.
Yeah. Sure. And again, I think that plays into her age because they didn't have her going to school.
I do, and I don't feel like I don't know. I feel like the age has nothing. Like for me, it's like it's nothing new. She just wasn't mentally
that too, but I think her age,
just like living on her own.
No, mentally, as far as living on her own, absolutely not. No. What I'm saying in terms of some of her actions, because like I think I said it in the last episode, but I think a lot of the sexual actions, maybe I was saying that to Yolanda, but like a lot of the sexual things that they were saying she was doing, even when she was in the psych hospital, had to do with just being a preteen or a teen.
Yeah.
You just going through you're hormonal and horny shit. So I think, I mean, hell, we've all been there.
You want to try it out? Try something. Yeah, you need to try it with somebody your age. You need to find out your real age.
No, and I agree, but again, without the proper mental state, first of all, outside of her not being able to take care of herself, but also not being groomed to know, because they're going off of she's one age, but she's actually another age. Because again, I give her at least 12, 13 if she had full pubic hair, somewhere around there. Yeah. And that later shows up to possibly be debatable. We don't know. But I just think her age played a factor, her environments, because even before she got to them, she had been passed around. So all of that plays a factor in how you react in certain situations. Now, should she have been appropriate with that little boy if they were the same age or not? No, because I'm finna whip both y'all asses, really. But
he said, "You get your ass away from me. You don't come in my grandma's house no more. You go on and get right. You have the cooties." And then her taking her little self down there to that man's house and walking down to that bedroom to try to go
where
to
the baby was at. Yeah, where their son was at.
Like he said, thank goodness we had a Chihuahua. She was scared of it because she was going to try to attack that little boy. And I'm telling you, if that little girl would have walked down my hallway and tried to get in my son's bedroom, I would have I would have football kicked her ass. I'm not even joking. Like I would have.
It's called a punt kick.
Yes, punt kick. The goal. Do you understand? A field goal is what I would. If you don't even take your ass up out of here away from my son, like you're playing.
Oh Lord, it's not funny, but it's so real, and that's such a true statement.
It is. You just don't feel like that. I don't give a damn about your disability. You gonna fuck around and get yourself hurt.
So they decide not to renew her lease for all of these reasons, and now Christine and Michael got to find her a new place to stay. Yeah. So they decide to move her to Lafayette, Indiana. That's the state we in, Indiana.
Yeah. The fact that he was like, this was a nice place. I took a lot of walks.
It's the fact. He didn't say he took a lot of walks. It's a nice neighborhood for you to take a walk in. I ain't never been to Lafayette, Indiana. But when they showed the view of the neighborhood, I have walked in every ghetto ass neighborhood of every city I have ever lived in.
Stamps.
I'm not. Listen.
It was the corner store. I said, no, they was wrong for this. This was wrong. That's not.
They threw her in the hood, and she didn't know anything about surviving one. That's the first thing. She didn't even know how to. She already had
inappropriate behavior. She doesn't. I mean, clearly she trusts anybody. It was not a good look. I said, wow, this is crazy.
So while Natalia is living in these apartments and here's the other kicker. So they put her on the second floor, of this apartment complex. If you go back and take a look, she was very tiny, and the way her legs were made, which made most of her disability, aside from being stairs is just not something she really needs. Like the first place, that was fine. That was more what they call it, ranch style apartments. So that was okay because it's just one straight in, straight out, no steps, no nothing. Mm-hmm. Except for when they tried to make her bring that trash in the house by herself up that ramp. But but they put it on the second floor. They really just, and then it was an hour away from where they lived at. So it was really giving, we don't want to even know you exist anymore.
Well, they already moved to Canada at this point.
Yes, because Jacob got accepted into I wrote that down too.
Yeah, so I just put college. He got into accepted
college.
It
was in, what I remember is Waterloo. See, I hate when I can't remember, but it was Waterloo something because there's a Waterloo, Iowa. That's what made me remember. But anyway, he got accepted into a college to get his master's degree at the age of 14 in Canada. This is what Jacob did. So they moved to Canada so Jacob can get his master's degree at the age of 14. So, or 18 by the time he got done, or 16, we don't know. At the rate he was really right. So, while they're in Canada, just, being a good old family and everything and prospering, Natalia is out here by herself. Struggling. And they're like really struggling. And there was a point where they said her lights was off for like, I want to say some weeks at a time. Like it was some weeks that her lights was off. Then she was going to one of the local community centers that made the neighborhood so great, and was taking classes to get her GED or whatever. And she just comes up missing. One of her neighbors noticed like she's just not coming home no more. So they alert the police, CPS, because they're thinking at least she's
this happened.
So they contacted them people. And then people get in contact with the Barnetts. Now all of a sudden they so concerned. Now the lights is on. Now she got groceries. She ain't had food and God knows how long. Now she got groceries, but they still can't find out where she is. Coming to find out, she's staying with her neighbor Cynthia. Because Cynthia just took the child in. Because it's like, damn, they just dropped you off and left you.
Cynthia rubs me the wrong way.
Why?
So I do think that she said, wow, like this poor girl, mm-hmm. Let's help her. Mm-hmm. But then in that video of them going to like get the food the food for the food stamps, mm-hmm. and then like seeing her and then her husband and them subletting the apartment, was like, was y'all just signing over her check? Like, I just thought all that was unnecessary when you could literally just say to her, get your check. I mean, obviously, I mean, I don't. I
He
mean,
wasn't getting her check. That's the only reason I don't give Cynthia a full side eye, because I get what you're saying. But at the same time, the only reason Michael was upset, and you could visibly see this in the interview, the only reason he was upset is because they got her to go change her name over. Because like he said, the way he said it, it was the way he said it for me. He was like, well, within a couple of days of her living with her, she already has her food stamp card with $500 on it and spent all of her food stamps or whatever. So that's what made me give her the side eye, because it's like, if you wasn't already spending $500+ on your household before she got there, you don't need to spend that much off of her food stamp card. Charge what you feel like she might use for that month and move accordingly. But where you could tell he was really pissed is when he found out that Natalia had gone down, or her and Cynthia had gone down to the welfare office or the disability office and changed Cynthia to the primary on the account, so she was getting the benefits. This is why I don't feel like Cynthia was entirely wrong, because y'all are getting her benefits, but you guys aren't taking care of her.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm not sure. I just don't believe that she had. Once she seen the opportunity, it became an opportunity and not the care.
It could be, but apparently she was still with them at least when Michael went to trial. So it couldn't have been that.
Leasing her apartment to get money. So.
But again, I try to look at all sides of a situation. Yeah. She's disabled too. So outside of what she's getting, because we don't know what she was getting in disability, outside of what she's getting, if they're transporting her to and from doctor's appointments, I could tell they got her the proper shoes. They got her some better looking, better fitting clothes. Like, it wasn't just all going into their household, because even in the interviews, like, she's clean, her hair, like, you can tell. Yeah, her hair is washed. She's not all scraggly looking. So, and she might have a job at this point. We don't know.
Yeah, and things might change. And maybe she matured. She got older. She
realized she was older. Yeah, she grew up. Yeah.
Maybe somebody else is taking a shower. Let me get my ass in this shower. Now, what is this thing they call a shower?
And that's the other side of it. Like, they had to teach her. I'm sure had to teach her to bathe and wash herself and all, like, get her into school. So I don't know what her intentions were. But based off of what I saw, I feel like
it came
she was doing better than the Barnetts was, because at the end of the day, y'all was getting her benefits and wasn't paying nothing.
I just feel like she's seen the opportunity, so she took it. That's what motivated her, was the opportunity. Not initially like this poor girl, like, like, not saying she didn't feel sorry, because I'm sure she did. Who wouldn't? But I don't feel like she was like all about it, like all about just her. I mean, she had her own, agenda, I guess. I don't know. I mean, I'm not mad at the girl.
No, I'm not saying you're wrong. Everybody does. I'm not saying everybody has their own agenda. I'm not saying
the girl looks much better. Her hair is washed.
No, yeah, even if she did, she didn't neglect her within her agenda. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
She might have saw it as an opportunity to help her, but also as an extra income. Whatever. The girl looked better than she did when she was with the people with all the millions of dollars. So anyhow, after this has happened, now people are giving them a side eye, because again, now she's considered an adult, but they get adult services in.
Right, but
that's still a form of neglect.
It's still your daughter, and it's still your damn child, and
it's still a form of neglect. And what they ended up coming out with was, because Michael got to talking. Ooh, that nigga got to talking.
I said, somebody needs to tell him, okay? Just tell him. I don't know how he don't see it, where he don't see it.
Michael, they say singing like a canary. He is the definition.
Well, so after all of this is coming out, because now they're in trouble, he moves back to America, and they get divorced, him and Christine.
Yes. Well, they at that time, but after he got back.
Now, he's sick of her. You divorcing me?
Y'all, we really wish we could reenact some of this shit, because
I'll show you what I'll tell you. And he started telling it all.
So according to Michael, after they're divorced, after he done lost everything. So now you big mad. According to Michael, it was all Christine. Yeah. And part of me believes him at least like 90% of the way, but you still stood there and watched. If what you're saying is true, you stood there and watched. And he is the definition of when I say I can't do no pussy ass walk over nigga. Like if I could just walk on you,
you cannot say all those words.
I just did.
Yes. You say it again so then you can take this part out.
I'm not saying nothing again. I need you to get on YouTube and just put in the worst thing you can imagine, and a video gonna come up about it. If they banned, we shouldn't be, because that wasn't even that bad. However, I can't do that type of person.
I can't either.
It was the crying for me. The crying on cue for me.
Mm-hmm.
It was the ugly face for me.
Right. We were all abused. We were abused. I was like, sir.
I was abused. Natalia was abused. We were all abused.
We were all victims. I'm like, oh my God. Like, and I mean, I can believe it.
I believe him. Just looking at her picture, she look a little not all the way.
And he look a little soft. Like they're very much the opposite.
Night and day.
Yeah.
But anyhow, to get in depth, because we done got a little off track, to get in depth about what he was saying, he said Christine used to physically beat Natalia, like he said, not just like a spanking kind of thing, but he said, but he literally, what did he say, fist and elbows?
Yeah.
He like pounding on her. She would he would leave to go to work in the morning, and Natalia's standing at the wall with her nose to the wall. And then he'll come back home 8 to 10 hours later after work. She's still in the same spot. And then in between time, she done soiled herself. And he's like, so you just ain't gonna change your clothes? Like, you don't see that? And she's like, well, she just did it to spite me, just to upset me. Yep, because I just pissed on myself to make you mad.
I want to stand here in my filth.
Yes. So she continues to make her stand on the wall. He's like, one time, 2:00 in the morning, he gets up, and Natalia's still standing at the wall. But by now, she didn't took a dump.
And then her videotaping saying, "It's been 2 minutes. You've only been standing for 2 minutes. So you're hurting." Yeah, she hurts.
You see her? You stand with your legs cocked like that and tell me how long it takes for you to start hurting.
She hurt? Yeah, she hurts. Like.
They both incriminated themselves. But anyway. So this is Michael. Like it's definitely giving. Now that I'm not with you, I'm finna put all the blame on you. That's
I mean, he did have a little proof. He did have some text messages.
Yeah.
Some videos.
Yeah.
So he did have a little proof to say, like, it's her, this is her crazy self. But still, again, you are a grown man and you should be able to say, like, if it was her doing this to your son, would you allow this? Like, if she was doing that to Jacob, would you be like, yes?
Well,
Jacob.
She's the same person that told Jacob to piss on Natalia's bed to show her a lesson, and lied and said that a doctor or a therapist told her that was a way to fix it. So she told Jacob to pee on Natalia's bed.
That's how you know she knows how to manipulate her family, because she knew she had to tell Jacob that the doctor said to do this.
Before he would do
understand why I would have to do this, because that don't make sense to him. Because with his brain, that don't make sense.
Why would they tell you that?
You to do that, right?
So, Yolanda said it best though. When a master manipulator can't manipulate you, or they think you're gonna out manipulate them, it drives them crazy. And I feel like that's what happened with Christine. It drove her crazy, because even though I feel like to some extent Natalia knew she wasn't no damn 6-year-old. She knew she wasn't no damn 6 years old.
Right.
But once that was kind of found out, that's when Christine went into like overdrive, because how dare you outsmart me type shit.
Right.
So that's
like outsmart me. I see you for who you are. I see you.
Right. And so now I'm doing any and everything I can think of to get you to tell me who you are. So,
and then just all go back to like, doesn't matter at the point. It doesn't matter. Like, DJ's gonna turn 34. Does that make him my child? He's still my fucking child. Like, he's still my son. It don't matter how old she is. You guys wanted a daughter. You got one.
I think she just. But again, she's a master manipulator, and to feel like she got played. For me and you, it's like, okay, well, they just got the age wrong. Yeah. For her, it's like the fucking ultimate deception.
Right. You know that you're not this age, so tell me what you really are.
Right, and then I'm gonna punish you until you tell me. So for her, is that's she's low key a narcissist. Now that I'm saying it out loud, because that's what that is. Because how dare you outsmart me when Natalia more than likely was just going with the flow. Like I said, that she knew she wasn't 6. She might not have known her exact age, but she knew
she probably didn't even know exactly how old she was. She probably just hear everybody talking about like she's older or she has this, and so she probably thinking, okay, maybe I am older, because she probably don't know exactly how old she is. But again, like I said, you wanted a daughter and you got her. There she is.
This is true. So
yeah. If DJ want to ask, I wish my baby can go back to being 6, please. Now 12.
So, yeah, girls and all that. Yeah, you're going through all that right now. But so this is when Detective Davenport comes in.
Oh yeah, he wasn't playing.
He wasn't playing at all, and he pulls up. Huh?
He's not playing with them at all.
No, because he pulled up on Michael one day on a humbug.
Right. He's not even entertained by Michael and on his theatrics. I'm not entertained by this. Okay. Let's get to the point.
So he gets over there and he plays the good cop role. And he's like, Michael, I have a feeling, because he had already did his research. They had already got the fucking DNA test of shit back from fucking Anna. So they know for sure she's Natalia's birth mom. Mm-hmm. And let's talk about how they played Anna into giving up her baby.
And so that was a thing for me too, because she said she didn't want to give up her baby, but they made it seem like
it was going to be such a burden.
Right. If they called you 19 years ago, saying that your child is this and this and this, at that point you could have been like, bring my damn child back to me.
No, she couldn't have, because by United States law, she belonged to the Barnetts. They paid the money.
No. I'm not talking about the Barnetts.
Oh.
About the first call what she got from the first family when she told them this has been gone for 17 years before the Barnetts.
Mm-hmm.
She could have told them, bring me back my baby.
True.
Yes, by law, okay, she's American. Y'all don't want her.
True.
You guys don't want her. She's a burden.
But then there's the burden of getting her to Ukraine. Are they willing to send her, or is she gonna have to come up with the money herself?
Well, I mean, they don't mind trying to pitch her off at the little people conventions. Send her back to her mama.
Nigga, shut up.
They were trying to pitch her off to anybody, and then all the little people on the show pissed me off.
I feel like they were being very biased. I feel like they were
very much
very
so
biased.
But then you want to sit there and call out all of these things about this family, which I'm not saying the family's good, they bad. But then you don't want to say, well, we didn't even want to adopt her. Y'all didn't want her ass either.
The one lady did. Her husband didn't want her.
Okay, y'all. I said y'all.
No, I can't. No, because I kind of feel bad for that lady. You can tell that lady really did want to adopt her, but her husband wasn't for it. So,
and her husband, who clearly runs the show, said no. So y'all didn't adopt her.
I feel bad for that.
And left her with the bad family. And then he tried to pitch her off to another family, and y'all went up there and seen her. And y'all see, and this is when there's with the other family, not even the Barnetts.
Right.
And you seen her, and you seen that she was rehearsed, and you seen that she was in trouble. Y'all didn't help her. Instead, y'all let her stay. Then y'all Facebook friends, the Barnetts, to watch all the just shit unravel, and then get on this show and say how bad they were. What did y'all do to help? Y'all didn't do shit to help either. And keep your damn comments to your damn self. That's what I would have told them. But whatever.
Well, she said everything that needed to be said about this.
Saying, we see.
I don't even need to add to it. You said all that need to be said. I ain't got to
say shit. But I can't take her home with me.
Right. So, Davenport is asking Michael all the right questions to get all the right answers. That's what he's doing.
He buttered him up too. I know you're a good guy.
I know you are, and I feel like it's mostly Christine.
And I know you're the good guy. He was like, "You're right.
I am a good guy.
I'm trying to be telling you guys this all along. It's her. I'm the victim.
When I can't even say Michael threw her under the bus, he threw her ass under the ship. Do you hear me?
He said
he dropped her to the bottom of the Titanic. Do you hear me? Like, oh my gosh. He went into description about how she made the comment when she moved her into Lafayette, that this is a white trash town. She can't con anybody out there. Nobody's going to care. Nobody's going to notice her. The exact opposite happened because contrary to popular belief, the worst
people in the hood,
yes, will look out for somebody like that.
The people, okay?
Period.
You don't mess with elderly people, and
you don't mess with
children or disabled people. Yep. You just don't freaking
do it. You don't
now,
do it.
I mean, we can do a lot of other shit, but just don't do those. Leave that alone.
We maybe might have thought about it and have done some other shit. But it's really an unspoken rule in the hood. The kids, elderly, and disabled is just off limits. Like you have to be a despicable person to mess with somebody like that. So
yeah.
But the exact opposite obviously ended up happening because she ended up moving in with Cynthia. So Davenport gets all this information out of Michael. So he asked him, and this is 2019 when this interview happened.
Yeah, when he called and said, girl, I wrote it down. September something. I mean,
no. I'm saying when he first sat down and talked to him, when he asked him at that interview at his house.
Oh, I don't remember. I just remember the phone.
I think that was either 19 or 20. This was COVID. I want to say it was 2019 because the preliminaries of the trial started in 2019. So 2019, he asked him.
A friend sent me an article, and I am being
no, wait. I'm not done yet. That's actually.
I was like, this man, he is not going. He can't do jail. Jail's not.
Girl, because I'd have sent you the article, and you wouldn't have called him. That's all I can say.
I'm gonna call the police on myself and find out what is true and what is not.
So, you made me lose my train.
He came to the house and checked.
He asked Michael, after getting all this information out of him, he asked Michael, he said, how, with all of this being said, all of this being considered, how old do you think Natalia is? And Michael was like, you mean like right now, today, in this moment? He said, yeah. Michael's response was like between 20 and 22, which at the top of the bill would have made her 17 when they put her out.
Yeah, 17 or 18 when they put her out. Or when they
it was 17 because she wasn't legal.
Yeah.
So now we're talking about child neglect.
But in the state of Indiana, if you have a disabled child, 21.
Not just disabled, adopted and disabled.
Yeah.
And actually, yeah.
21 is like the
cutoff.
You go 18 or whatever.
Yeah. The cutoff. Yeah. So, which by it ain't odd that they dined her at 22.
Yep.
So they didn't have to have no responsibility for her. So now we fast forward to what Ty was just talking about. Get that phone call. Davenport, that ring, hello.
Yes, Michael.
One of my friends just sent me an article saying that I'm wanted for 2 counts of child neglect. He's like, yeah.
That is right.
That is accurate.
What's going to happen? Well, do you want to turn yourself in? Do you want us to come get you?
And literally said there has to be some accountability here.
Right. It doesn't.
I'm so sorry for you, dog.
Nope.
So Michael turns himself in the very next day. Mm-hmm. And then the day after that, Christine turns herself in. Mm-hmm. There was just a lot of back and forth from that time. The trial. Yeah, it was a lot of he said, she said. Mm-hmm. What pissed me off was they didn't allow for her age to be entered into the case. And they didn't allow for them to talk about Christine. More so her age being allowed into the case because they're trying to charge her at her legal age and or charge it as her legal age versus as a child. First of all, as a child, he's going to get more time if they would have got him at the child neglect charges. So we're going to try her try it as an adult situation. So this is adult disability, neglect, whatever they called it. Long story short, this nigga got off.
Yeah.
He was found not guilty on all charges, but then
and then the poor baby, when they interviewed her, she was so all her lies, Christine's lies, the other people's lies, the adoption lies. She don't even know.
Right. And like she said, like they said, between the ages of 8 and now, yes, shit has gotten misconstrued. She's been told to say so many.
I don't even know where I'm at in life.
Right. Like, what day is it around this
motherfucker? What is my name at this time? I don't know anymore. Like, that poor baby, like
they definitely ruined her head. They definitely fucked with her. So I really hope she's in a better situation. Yes, she's in some type of therapy because they play with that baby mind. But let's get to Christine though.
Well, so he got off and he's going home.
He's at home.
Yeah, he's at home with Jacob.
Christine ain't even finna see a day in court because not they drug they feet so motherfucking long. The statute of limitations done ran out.
Right. So now it's just a wrap. I mean, people get away with worse. Just like, I mean, those little people are still sitting there to help. You see something, you do something. They didn't do shit. They just sat right there.
No, Cynthia did.
Not Cynthia. I'm talking about the little people.
No, they definitely did not.
Not the neighbor with the 9 cats, 2 dogs, and 5 children. I said, ma'am, you don't need to be trying to take anything extra on. Okay, your hands are full.
First of all, where are you finding the food to give away to feed somebody else outside of what's already in your house?
Your house. This is a lot going on.
She definitely said she has 6 kids and like 3 cats and 2 dogs.
My God, what is going on in this house?
That's the lady that lived in the shoe. No,
she had a lot going on. I said, wow. But Natalia looks okay. She look, even though like this is all,
it's just weird.
It's just like a weird story. But she's alive. She's not dead.
And she seems to be healthy.
Her face looks good. Her hair looks good. She looks like she's grown up. She's a grown girl. And so
I hope she's doing well. I hope the Barnetts get what's coming to them. I hope they have.
Well, he's broke. His car doesn't work anymore. It hasn't been driven.
No, because that's not a broke house, though. Did you see that house? That is not a broke house.
I think he should be living in Lafayette.
He broke according to his standards. If that is broke, I want to be that kind of broke.
Right. Because you look comfortable.
Because he kept saying I lost everything, and I'm looking at the house like,
he said I have $19 in my bank account. I said, you look okay. Your mortgage is paid, looks like.
Maybe if you sell that car.
It ain't been driven in a year.
Ooh, and still can get some good money because of the type of car it is.
It is, right.
But no, he's like I'm the perfect example of a guy that had everything and lost everything. I'm the whole time he keeps saying this. I'm looking at the SUV parked under the tree that they tried to hide off in the bottom corner of the screen. I'm looking at the side patio a little over the fence, the front yard. The house is so. If that is broke, that is the kind of broke
you want to be.
I want to be. Because I'd be comfortable in that broke house. Yeah. And then you can see his neighbor's house off to the side.
I do hope that he gets to see his kids one day, or his boys, at least talk to them, because I know that was sad. I mean, jeez.
I don't know, man, because his crying was so fake. His crying was so fake, though. It was just so insane. That's what
he ain't fooling the autistic boy, the bad boy. See right through his stuff. He'd be like, okay.
No, when he was doing all that crying, Jacob was like,
yeah, so he don't fool him, so don't fool. He can't fool the others.
Jacob just needed somewhere to stay.
Like I said, I don't want to live alone.
My mom's be tripping a little more than he do, so I ain't got time for him than her.
The basement seems nice.
The lesser of two evils, right? I can have my own space. At my mama's house, I got to look at her all the time.
Right, I don't want to.
I got the basement at my dad.
With her new pictures. I ain't got time.
But I guess we can't say all well ends well because there ain't much well about this story. But
no one died.
That's nobody died. I guess that's the good side of it. But
right.
Natalia, I really do hope is in a better situation. I hope she's getting the right therapy that she needs, because that has ruined your thought process, your trust issues, your confidence, your everything. Like, I'd be in a box somewhere after some shit like that.
I'd just be done with life. I'd be like, oh my God.
You know what? I just don't have time. Give me a work from home job. I don't have time.
Work at home by herself. I
mean, in her case, it would be the most logical thing considering her disability. She don't need to be going in and out of nowhere every day.
Yeah.
So get her a little telemarketing job, you know, a little call center. Do people still telemarket?
I'm sure.
Telemarketing, is that still a thing?
Isn't that when people call you?
Yeah, but I mean, you got social media and everything else. Are people still actually calling?
I know. It's like spam likely comes up. You're like, I'm not answering this. Like, what are you calling me for?
I never answer spam likely unless I'm bored, and then I answer in Spanish. Remember
you used to answer the phone like, you grill them. What did you say? I used to hate when you answer the phone like that.
That is during our funeral home. You killing me.
You're gonna kill me, Chilla. I'm like, girl, what is you doing?
I got that off a house party, but then like you start remixing it, like that is during our funeral home. You stab when we grab them.
No, I was like, don't think like that. And I used to think to myself, if she answers the phone like that, I'm gonna be so irritated. Hey, what up? Hello, what's up?
My new thing is AT&T wireless. How can I help you?
Oh my God, see, I'm done. I want her. That's why I text you now.
I ain't got time to be calling her. I don't know what type of greeting I'm gonna get when she answers.
No, I'm not in the mood for that.
I be bored, y'all, and I see people calling. I just like to be a jerk. But no, we used to do that. People would call our house before we left San Diego. Mm-hmm. And like once we got caller ID and you knew who was calling,
yeah,
the phone like that.
No, it's not funny.
Don't call me no time soon because I'm
not gonna worry about it. I'm not gonna do it.
Oh, well, it's been a great time, y'all. We actually did good. We had 46 minutes, child.
Look at us. Mary, thank you for my shirts.
We twinning? What am I twinning? Twinning.
Now we need one of every color so now we can like.
No, I was just thinking I kind of want a gray one now.
Now I need to go order some.
Now I need one in every color, so everywhere I go, I can have this shirt on and nobody.
Right.
Me. But it's been a good old time, as always. Be safe. Don't adopt kids without getting all the facts first. Don't abuse adopted children.
Don't abuse any children.
Don't abuse children. Don't cry on cue. Be like Jacob.
Okay.
Be smart and mind your business. Do that.
Yeah.
Be like Jacob.
I don't
Stay in the
basement. Right. I'm gonna get my master's degree. I'm just gonna chill out because people is crazy. I don't.
Jacob knows something we don't. So be like Jacob.
All that stuff upstairs, that's their business.
But as always, y'all can catch us on all social media platforms, Facebook, No Crime After Dark. That is the group and the like page. Instagram, No Crime After Dark _podcast. TikTok, No Crime After Dark. Twitter, X Crime After Dark. We have new episodes premiere every Thursday. I notify y'all. Best thing you can do, YouTube, click that notification button. You can catch us on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Spreaker. But in the meantime, in between time, we'll see y'all next week.